Let's try that again. Hello, we are going to do a stretch class today. So this should be pretty relaxing, and let me adjust my phone here. Pretty relaxing, and you should feel better when we're done with class than you do right now because you've stretched your muscles. We want to be gentle when we stretch, not try to force stretches. So one thing I want to explain to you about flexibility that I've learned recently that I thought was really interesting, because I have areas of my body that no matter what I do, I cannot increase the flexibility in those muscle groups. For example, I've been able to increase the flexibility in my hamstrings by doing Pilates and other things, but my inner thighs, they're just still really stiff. So the one reason that I've learned is because, as you know, we have muscles, tendons, and ligaments. The muscles are made to be flexible to a certain extent, and then the tendons and ligaments are made not to be flexible very much because they're kind of the structure that holds things together, either muscle to muscle or muscle to bone. So if you are inflexible in a certain area, how you can test that is before you work out, just try a stretch. Don't force the stretch, like if I'm trying to touch my toes, right? Go down, see how far I can get. Then I do my workout or my long stretch, get my muscles warm, and then I try to do that stretch again. If I can go further in my stretch than I did at the beginning, that means you have a normal amount of muscle, tendon, and ligament ratio in that joint. Now, if you start, you do your test, kind of stretch, and then you go through a class, and your stretching is the same, you haven't gained any flexibility, that means you've got more ligament and tendon in that muscle joint. That's just the way you were made, and not much you can do about it. So, but it's always good to stretch. I find myself kind of skipping stretching where I know I'm not going to add any flexibility, but that's not a good idea. We still want to stretch all the areas of our body. But that's just a little tip so you know if you can improve your flexibility in a certain area. All right, we're going to get started with a neck stretch. Now, what we want to do when we're stretching is not try to force anything to go further than what's natural. So I want you to look to the right, center, look to the left, center, and right, center, and left, and left. Now you will eventually need a mat or a carpet. Be a rude awakening for Lizzie girl here when I need that mat, but you will in a little bit. Okay, last time to the side. Now look up. Don't let your head fall back. Control it, and then chin toward the chest. Don't jut it down. And down. 2 more. And last one. Now, shoulder rolls. Up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. We're going to reverse these after this one. Reverse forward and back. Forward and back. Last time. Now, we're going to move those arms in big circles forward to the front. Continuing to stretch in those shoulders. Reverse your circles. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. All right, we're going to reach our arms to the front. I'll turn to the side to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to round back. Come back to the front and reach. All right, shoulder stretch, one arm across. Then on the forearm, you're going to hold it with the opposite hand. Now what I want you to do is push forward with the stretching arm and push back with the resisting arm. And you should feel that. I'll show you right where I'm feeling it, the back of the deltoid and up a little bit in the neck. 4, 3, 2, last one, switch sides. Across, make that hook with the other arm, and resist. Push forward with the straight arm, push back with that hook. Prayer hands. We're going to move them down front of the body till we feel our wrists, our forearms, getting a stretch. All right. We're going to reach our hands forward with our palms pointing towards the floor. Make a fist. Open wide. Make a fist. Open wide. Make a fist. Open wide. Let's do this 4 more times. In and open and in and open. 2 more. In and open. Last time. In and open. Now we're going to take both arms up to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, then gently hold that elbow. Try to bring it in a little closer to the ear to stretch your tricep. Up the back of the arm. The thing about stretches is we want to hold them with those arms back up, bend the other elbow, bring it in towards the ear. Your pinky finger, I don't know if you can see, the pinky finger is right between the shoulder blades. Well, not that far down, but in the middle of the spine. We're going to bring our arms up, hold your hands, pull your belly button in, and we're going to reach to the side. It's a nice stretch all the way up. And breathe, and up to the other side. Release those hands. I'm going to stand to the side. I'm going to clasp our hands behind, lift them up until you feel that chest stretch. Keep breathing. Sounds silly to say keep breathing, but during stretches, some people do hold their breath, so All right, I'm going to turn to the side for just a second again. We're going to bend, put our hands on our thighs. You can see I have a flat back, or what's called a ski slope spine. And then I'm going to round my spine, tuck my chin to my chest, and then flatten back. Okay? Turn back to front, round, chin to chest, flat, round, chin to chest, and pull that belly button in and back. And back. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Okay. Feet wider than hip distance, quite a bit wider actually. You're going to bend your right leg, and your left leg is going to stretch. That straight leg. So both feet are pointing straight ahead. And just hold. Now this is my tight area, so this is good for me. Another side. Stretch. There's no right amount of time to hold a stretch, but just not like 4, 3, 2, 1, get up, right? You need to hold it for a little while. All right, bring those feet together. You're going to step 1 foot forward. So it's a straight leg. Set that heel down and then sit back. Stretching the back of this straight leg. I'll turn to the side for you. Just so the knees are together. This leg is bent at the knee, and you're sitting your seat back. To you. Pulling that belly button back. Keeping that ski slope spine, not being messy in the upper body. Alright, switch sides. So lift that leg straight, bend the other knee, and then lower that heel. Hamstring stretch. I'm trying to see if you can see my feet here, so I'm going to move back a little bit. And we're going to do a lunge. Maybe I'll just do it to the side. So back leg is straight, front leg is bent. And we're just going to raise and lower that back heel. 4, 3, and just hold. Now putting that heel down might be difficult for you based on whatever your flexibility is. Really getting a calf stretch here. All right, other side. So that front knee is bent, back knee is Back leg is straight. Lift and lower that heel. And then just hold that heel down. You might need to adjust that back leg to where you can put the heel down. All right, now we're going to do a simple move called the candle. It's another one for the side of the body. So put your fingertips together right outside the ears. Don't let the arms come too front or too back. If you need to, actually, you can bring them front if lifting the arms straight isn't doable. But our goal is to lean straight to the side. Think of a candle. The flame is in a little breeze, and the breeze is just moving that flame side to side. Pull that belly button in. For 4 and 3. 2 more. Last one. All right. Now, unfortunately, Lizzie, I think she might be dreaming, but she's got to move. So we can do the floor portion of class. Hey, girl. Hey. Scoot. Scoot. Come on. She has a perfectly good bed over here, but she likes my mat, don't you? Huh? You like my mat? Okay. Scoot. Scoot. All right, I'm not your best friend right now, sorry. All right, we're going to come on our spine on the mat. All right, how about we share it? All right, so roll down. Coming to our spine. We're going to bring our knees to our chest. And this should feel really good in your lower spine. Whenever I teach Pilates, I tell my students this is a great rest position. You know, if you need a little break, this is really good. It just takes all the tension out of my lower back, which is very nice. All right. We're going to bring our arms out on a T. Bring those legs to a tabletop position. You can see my thighs are straight up. My shins are parallel with the floor. We're just going to lower the legs halfway down and lift, and then lower the other way and lift. Now, an easier position to do this in is to keep your feet on the floor and just move them side to side like this. All right, so you decide. This is not for muscle toning, so we're going to do it slowly and just enjoy that stretch on the side of the body. And keep that nice flowing breath going. This is one of my favorites. One more each side. All right. We're going to bring our legs down, hip distance apart. We're going to take one leg. This is a figure 4 stretch, if you know what a figure 4 stretch is. We're going to cross it on the lower thigh, so no weight is on that knee. It's to the lower thigh. The goal is to have this leg not in an angle, but straight across. Okay, we're getting into that groin area again. Now, put hands on either side of that lower thigh, lift that thigh up, and then just feel the stretch. You'll feel that in the seat as well. If you want to, some people gently push back on that knee. But this is usually enough for me. Another thing I do sometimes, this is vertical now. Sometimes I'll tip it toward the floor, and then I feel really it zeroes in on that glute. So depending on what you need that day, you can adjust how you do your stretches. That's one of the, although it shouldn't hurt, that's one of the hurt so good exercises. We're switching legs. So the other foot is on the floor, ankle across that lower thigh, and then lifting up. Now some people find enough stretch just with the foot on the floor, so you can stay there or lift up. And if you want to hold behind that supporting thigh, you want to, you can gently press away. Or that other option of tipping towards the floor with the supporting leg. Then that really just zeroes in on those glutes for me. Uncross. I'm going to do a hamstring stretch now. We're going to kind of move through it first because I know hamstrings are so hard for everyone. Or not everyone, but a lot of people. So we're going to start with it. One foot's on the floor. The working leg is going to be bent, and then we're just going to straighten it and bend it. Now maybe straightening is not happening for you, and that's fine. We do 5 more like this. And 4. And 3. Now we're going to try to hold this stretch now. So if straightening that leg out is difficult for you, just keep it away from the body. The main thing is we do want a straight leg, because even if you hold it away, you'll get a benefit of the stretch. But if you bend the knee, you can tell right away that the stretch is gone. If I straighten my knee, I can feel that stretch, and if I bend it, it's just gone. So wherever you need to hold that, and sometimes I'll tell students to get a yoga strap or a stretch band or something to hold. If you can, hold on your calf or your ankle. See, I've gained some flexibility in my hamstring. I'm still just kind of tight everywhere, but my hamstrings are better than they were. And yes, there's a little shaking in that leg, which is fine. All right, bend that leg. Bring the other leg to tabletop. Straighten, bend. 3 more. 2. Last one. Now where can you hold it and keep that knee straight? Because if we try to stretch the hamstring and bring it in and bend the knee, then I'm not stretching my hamstring, okay? So don't worry how close in you bring it, just how straight that knee is. Yes, it's an uncomfortable feeling. Stretching should never have a sharp pain to it. Like if you all of a sudden feel like a pinch or a sharp pain, you got to get out of that stretch. Okay? It should feel uncomfortable. Should not feel any kind of pain. All right, we're going to come over side. I'm going to do what's called an open book, but we'll see. We'll see how I do here. Okay, you're going to reach one arm. You can just pillow your head in the bottom arm, and we're going to reach open. And we're going to bring it in and reach open and bring it in. That open position should feel really good. You always want to, especially on those hard areas like we just did for the hamstrings, you kind of want to move through a stretch in these difficult areas before we hold them. So why don't we, now that we've done that a few times, hold as far as we can, twisting in that core. All right, I'm going to go to my other side because I'm not getting room on that side. Okay, so open book. Reach that arm forward. Open it up. Bring it back. Really a good opener for the shoulders, the chest. All right, let's hold it this time. Hold it back. And bring it forward. All right, we're going to do some prone stretches here. So we're going to come in on all fours and do some cat-cow positions. We did it standing with our hands on our thighs, but I thought it would be good to bring it in a kneeling position as well. So make a box with your body. Your hands are straight down from your shoulders, knees right under the hips, and you're going to round into an angry cat. Now what we didn't do in our standing position is go to cow, where we're letting our spine come down into that position where it's rounded down. And I don't have a good terminology for that right now. So the sway, and like in a cow's back, that's what we're imitating here. Two more. Last one. All right, we're going to come all the way down on our stomach with our hands next to our chest. Now, in yoga, this is called an upward dog, but I'm not going to do the full upward dog. This is more a Pilates style. So we're going to keep our gaze straight ahead and not up to the ceiling, unless you feel comfortable with that and you know that you can do that. All right, so chin towards the mat. We're going to lift up. Look straight ahead and down. So you have to be aware of the flexibility in your spine at this point and not lift too high. All right, so we can just come here. And if that's stretching in your spine, then that's good. Okay, one more time. And breathe. All right, let's come up to all fours. I'm going to do a move called thread the needle. So we're going to keep that flat back. I'm going to take my back arm with it facing towards the floor, palm up, and then bring my cheek towards the mat and stretching through that shoulder. All right, come up. I'm going to turn to the other side. I'm going to take that arm, palm up, reach it out as far as you can, cheek to the mat. All right, we're going to come all the way down on your front. We're going to do a scorpion. So watch it once and see what you think. Some people find this one difficult. I like it. It's a nice stretch. So we bend one leg, and then we're going, Lizzie, your foot's under me. Then we're going to take it back. And maybe you can take it back all the way till the toe reaches the floor. Nice stretch through the core. But maybe you just lift the leg. And bring it down. Let's do that on the other side. I'm going to split. All right. Arms in like a goalpost position. Lift that leg, bend it, and bend the leg, and then take it back. Like on this side, I'm having more trouble tapping that floor. But I still feel that stretch in my core. It's almost like wringing out a washcloth. It's the way it feels. All right, push yourself up. We're coming to a seated position. Right, we're going to do a forward fold. Turn this way. All right. Your feet are about hip distance, a little wider than hip distance apart. You're going to nod your head and then reach forward and come up. Pull that belly button back. This is called a spine stretch forward in Pilates. Nod your head, reach. Come up. Nod your head, reach. So we're doing it moving first. And if you can't touch your toes, just slide your hands down your legs. All right, this time let's hold. Stretch those hamstrings and the calves. Feel that tension all the way from the back of your heels all the way up the legs. All right. We're going to sit on one hip. We're going to lift that top leg to hip height. Hold the foot and then draw it back in line with the hip All right, and then draw it back until you feel that quadricep get a stretch. So it's going to be different for everyone. But still keep it the height of the hip. Okay, before we go to the other side, I'm going to show you that in this butterfly stretch, that this is my flexibility in my inner thighs. So holding the ankles gently, pressing down with your elbows. Excuse me. And round over. And breathe. Place your other hand down. Draw that leg, the height of the hip, then draw it back till you feel that quadricep stretch. We're going to go into another exercise in just a second after we've stretched this quad. That is another one that's difficult for me. It's a good stretch, but it's called the pigeon. And I'll show you how I can do it. I'm going to grab a pillow real quick because I need it for this. All right, the pigeon. One leg is facing the floor and it's back. You take the other leg and bring it up here. But see, I can't. You're supposed to sit up here, so that's where the pillow comes in. Or if I was in a yoga class, the yoga teacher invariably brings me a block to have me sit on. So you want everything pointed towards the floor. You want this shin straight across, in line with the edge of the mat. If I don't have the pillow, I have to bring my leg back. This is a really good stretch. Let's do that on the other side. All right, so the front leg, with a straight leg, a straight back, and then trying to bring this leg forward into a right angle. Should bring this back. Oh, sorry, girl. All right. Pillow out of the way. Reaching my feet long. We're going to point and flex those toes. 4, 3, now lift one leg, point and flex. That foot down, point and flex. All right. one of my favorite stretches. It's actually a Pilates exercise, but I've modified it, made it a little easier, and love it as a stretch, and always use it in my classes when we do cool down, and everybody seems to really like it. So we're going to put a forearm down, reach your arm over your ear. Now pushing off that forearm, we're going to take a big exhale and lift up, and then reach the other arm over. So it's kind of a 4-count exercise. Elbow down, exhale, reach over, inhale. Exhale as you sit up, and inhale, reach. Exhale, inhale over. Exhale, sit up, inhale, reach. Last time. Exhale, inhale, and inhale. Swing those legs around to the other side. Forearm down. Inhale that arm overhead. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. And last time. All right, well that is the end of our stretching class, and I believe this is part of that self-care bingo that they have going on at the library, so there might be a square for stretch class. Anyway, I'm not in charge of that, so I don't know a lot about it, but anyway, we are going to start our fall programming next week and get into some basic Pilates. So if you've done Pilates and you're not sure if you're doing it right, or you have no idea about it and what the concepts are and how it's different from yoga, those kind of things, we'll be talking about that and doing a basic Pilates mat class next week. So I hope you enjoyed this stretch. And again, if there's those areas in your body that you're not sure, can I increase the stretch? If there's flexibility you can gain there, they should be pretty flexible right now. If they're as stiff as they were when you started, you know, just like me and the groin, yeah, it's still beneficial to stretch, but you're not going to gain that flexibility. So I actually feel really good, feel nice and mobile and not stiff. So I hope you feel the same, and I will see you next time.